Welcome to new cryptocoin.com. I wanted to bring this video to you guys because I believe that we are undergoing a massive change right now, and this might not be new news to you guys, but I just want to bring you this news. I think it's encouraging to you guys to see what other people think about crypto. Before we get started on the video, guys, subscribe to our channel, share the videos. Let's get this channel out there, guys. A lot of people don't know we also have this website you could come to. You can follow us on Instagram. When you go to Instagram, you can see all of our Instagram posts here, as we've been posting pretty much every day on Instagram. We have the YouTube channel as well, and you can just come to newcryptocoin.com and see all of our videos here that you can get. But let's jump right into today's video, which is about Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, if you don't know him, he is he is the founder of PayPal, and he is a very smart guy, and he has made a big bet on Bitcoin. So this article is in the Wall Street Journal. So you know the Wall Street Journal is a very credible magazine, very credible newspaper. I'm sorry, very credible newspaper. So Peter Thiel Founders Fund makes monster bet on Bitcoin. Few mainstream investors have bought large sums of Bitcoin, scared out by concerns about cybersecurity and liquidity. One of the biggest names, and this is a little bit older article actually. But I thought it was interesting because I know that he did an interview recently and this was mentioned again, and I'm not sure if I covered it here for you guys, but let's go through. One of the biggest names in Silicon Valley is placing a moonshot bet on Bitcoin. And whenever you see smart people putting money into Bitcoin, it's a good sign that, hey, maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe they, can see, maybe they have, if they believe it's going to be something, that's a good sign. Founders Fund, the venture capital firm co-founded by Peter Thiel, has amassed hundreds of millions of dollars of the volatile cryptocurrency. People familiar with the matter said, think about this. Peter Thiel, he's already a billionaire. He doesn't need to put his money in Bitcoin. His fund has amassed hundreds of millions of dollars of the volatile cryptocurrency. The bet has been spread across several of the firm's most recent funds, including one that began investing in mid-2017 and made Bitcoin one of its first investments. Founders and Mr. Thiel, 50 years old, are well known for early investments in companies like Facebook that sometimes takes years to come to fruition. Think about this. He was one of the early investors in Facebook. It took years for that to come to fruition, but he made the bet. The Bitcoin bet is quickly showing promise. Founders bought around 15 to 20 million in Bitcoin, and it has told investors the firm's haul is now worth hundreds of millions of dollars after the digital currency's ripping rise in the past year. It isn't clear if Founders has sold any of its holdings yet. The bet hasn't previously been reported, so they could still be holding hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin vaulted last year from a fringe area of Wall Street interest to the most talked about asset in the financial world. The currency, essentially a digital form of money with no government or central bank behind it, started in 2017 trading around $1,000, then shot to $20,000 as individual and institutional investors alike ramped up speculating on its rise. From its all-time high reached in mid-December, the price chopped almost in half over the rest of the month. Prices of late Tuesday afternoon were 10% up to 14,783 after ending 2017 at about 14,000, according to research site Coinbase. Bitcoin spiked after the Wall Street Journal reported Founders' investment. Relatively few mainstream investors have bought large sums of Bitcoin, scared off by concerns about cybersecurity and liquidity, as well as more mundane fears of investment losses. J.P. Morgan and Chase chief executive Jamie Dimon famously called the digital currency a fraud, while Bridgewater Associates founder Raymond Diallo said it was a bubble. Even some of those who do not own it are cautious about speaking too publicly lest they draw the attention of hackers. So as you can see, there are people out here, big people, who are investing in Bitcoin and holding it. As a venture capitalist, Mr. Thiel and Founders Fund are among the most successful in Silicon Valley. Founders has more than $3 billion under management and has taken stakes in more than 100 companies, including Facebook, Airbnb, SpaceX, and Lyft. More recent investments include the crypto-focused hedge funds Metastable Capital and Polychain Capital, which puts money into blockchain companies. So they sat down. Mr. Thiel made the decision to buy Bitcoin together with founders, other investment partners. A person familiar with the matter said. So they sat down, had a round table, and came to the decision, hey, Bitcoin's a good thing to buy. A great thing to buy. We're going to put millions of dollars in it. I hope you guys are catching this. This is what he says. While I'm skeptical of most of them, I do think people are a little bit underestimating Bitcoin, specifically because it's like a reserve form of money. If Bitcoin ends up being the equivalent of gold, it has great potential. By buying Bitcoin outright as opposed to backing other companies doing business in the space, founders would be seen to be breaking with this investing tradition, an investor said. But in communications with investors, founders' representatives have sought to cast the investment as a high-risk, high-reward wager, similar to its other venture bets, the people familiar with the matter said. So that gives us an idea what Peter Thiel thinks about Bitcoin. And I think, once again, he endorsed Bitcoin yesterday, March 17th. He did it again, not yesterday, a few days ago. He said, it's like bars of gold in a vault that never move. There would be one online equivalent to gold, and the one you bet on would be the biggest. Despite his prediction, Thiel did not express complete confidence in Bitcoin and speculated that there was a 50 to 80% chance that it would have no value in the future. Nonetheless, he also noted that on the flip side, there's a 20 to 50% chance that it will increase in value. Probability weighted is good. He also has publicly stated that he believes critics are underestimating the cryptocurrency. This is on CoinDesk. And there's also another one on CNBC. And so these are Wall Street Journal, CNBC. These are mainstream financial sites. He says, I would be long Bitcoin and neutral to be skeptical of just about everything else at this point, with a few possible exceptions. He is betting that Bitcoin will become the biggest of the cryptocurrencies. I mean, if you look here, Bitcoin is already the biggest. It has 3 times the market cap at 150 billion of Ethereum, which is the second biggest, which is at 55 billion. So, he's betting Bitcoin will maintain that, and that's a good bet. Bitcoin should maintain that lead over the other cryptocurrencies. The PayPal co-founder backed the idea of Bitcoin becoming a store of value instead of a go-to currency for daily transactions. I'm not talking about a new payment system, Thiel added, that Bitcoin is too cumbersome for that use case. It is like bars of gold in a vault that would never move, and it's sort of a hedge of sorts against the whole world falling apart. He made this conversation Thursday at the Economic Club in New York. There's a chance other digital currencies like Ethereum could beat Bitcoin, and that others down the road may have better features, according to Thiel. But Bitcoin appeal is on the size, he said. Bitcoin dominated more than 42% of the total market capitalization among cryptocurrencies, while Ethereum accounted for about 19%. Gold continues to be gold because it's the main asset class. Maybe it could be replaced by silver, but it doesn't seem to be happening. He makes a good point there. Did you guys catch that? Gold continues to be gold because it's the main asset class. Maybe it could be replaced by silver, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Anyone that has followed the gold market, silver has never replaced gold because gold has always been the main one. Bitcoin could be in that same predicament where Bitcoin will always be the top cryptocurrency because it is the main asset class. It is the main digital asset is Bitcoin, and everything else follows Bitcoin. Thiel's optimism did not extend to all digital assets. I'm not sure I would encourage people to run out right now and buy these cryptocurrencies. The venture capitalist has been a long-time supporter of Bitcoin. At a conference in October, Thiel said people are underestimating the digital currency. So yeah, Peter Thiel is big Bitcoin believer, and he's put his money where his mouth is. He's bought into it. So make of what you want of that. But I think he has a good point about it being a digital gold, a hedge against the stock market or the hedge against other markets. But yeah, Bitcoin could be the one to rise even higher. So thank you for watching New Crypto Coin. I want you guys to know that you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. We're also on YouTube. Let me see if I can pull up the YouTube account here for you guys. New Crypto Coin is also on YouTube as well. So yeah, New Crypto Coins first, man. Follow us. Thank you for following New Crypto Coin. Subscribe to our channel. Guys, thank you for your support. Have a good evening. Thank you, guys.